All right, you're here with Mark with Giant Bicycles down here with Bicycle Warehouse in beautiful San Diego, and we're going to go over how to plug a tire with your tire plugs if you're out on the trail. You know, I've been riding bikes for forever, and since tubeless was invented, and I only had to use my tire plug once, and that was a few months ago. And you know what? I didn't even know how to use it. So yeah, I got my first flat, looked it up on YouTube to actually see if I did it right. I plugged the tire right, which I did. It's not a hard thing to do, but it's nice to have and know about what exactly to do when it happens to you. So, never done this before. This tire's full, and we're gonna poke a hole in it to see what happens, and then we're gonna plug it. We know it's gonna happen. All the air is gonna come out. Hopefully we won't get squirted by sealant, but that might happen too, so stay tuned. So, it's in there now. There it is. It's leaking. No sealant. There is sealant in there, but it's not coming out because sealant's at the bottom. So I just want to mark it so we can see it when we put the plugs in. But there you go. You can hear it's coming out. So we'll get the air out. I got a tire plug kit right here. So that'll have the tool with about 10 plugs in there that are really big plugs. They're really nice. So you can get that at Bicycle Warehouse and be prepared. Fits right in your fanny pack or in your camelback. Just a great tool to have. You shouldn't be without it, really, nowadays, because everything's tubeless. So there we go. And this is what's in the plug kit. So there's your plug and your plugs and your tool to plug the tire. So, and you can see these are really nice thick ones. As I mentioned before, I just got a flat. First time I used the plugs, my flat, the hole was enormous. So I actually had to use 3 of these plugs to get it to plug, but it actually worked, and I was able to ride 15 miles home on a plug tire. So they do work even in a huge hole. Okay, so the air is completely out. It's flat. So now we are going to pull one of the plugs off. So as you can see, they're super sticky and tacky, so they stick in the tire really well. Like super sticky and super tacky. One plug. The hole is fairly small. So if you wanted to, if you had a pair of scissors with you, or before the ride, if you wanted to cut these in half and double the amount of plugs you have, it's totally fine. These are so big, you don't need this big of a plug. You can actually cut it in half and use half of it. So you put it through the hole of the tool, so it sits like this. Then you fold it in half, and now we'll go over to the tire, try to find the hole that we put in the tire, and then plug it. So there was the hole that we made in the tire. You just, hold the tire tightly, shove the tool with the plug in there, rotate it, get it in there fairly deep. You can see that's in there deep, and then pull the plug out. The plug will stay in there. And if you had some, a little pair of cutters or something, you can cut that off, but you can ride with it like this too. It will trim itself off in the ride. So another tool you don't want to be without is your CO2 head, and there you go. Full, no leakage, so you don't have to walk home. Your tire's full, and like I said, if you have a pair of trimmers, you can trim it off and make it nice and smooth, but you can ride it like this too. it'll be okay. I rode mine like this for 14 miles and in some pretty rough riding, and it held no problem. So easy to do, not very complicated. It looks complicated, it looks a little overwhelming, but it's really easy to do once you get it. So like I said, this was a small hole. I only used one plug, but if you have a large hole, you can put 2, 3 plugs in there and plug that hole so you can get home. Okay, so we're just here trying to give you useful information so that you enjoy your ride to the fullest extent. And the way to do that is have the correct tools with you at all times, so you're not walking home, so you can help your buddy out that doesn't. Be like, hey, I got you this time, pull out your CO2, your tire plug, and then they can buy you a beer after, for that. So, but just be prepared, have the right tools, just makes your ride that much more enjoyable.